it and it goes stock.
Okay, folks, ready to go? Here we go. Okay,
Ken wants to get out.
I do. Okay, so I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Kincardine at 5 p.m. on June 3rd in the Council Chambers at the Municipal Administration Centre. This special meeting was called to appoint an eligible elector to fill a vacancy on council, in particular, councillor at large. Before we begin, I would like to share with sadness that Gordon Campbell, a former member of council, passed away this past week. Gord served our community with pride during his 3 terms of council, 2003 to 6, 2006 to 2010, and then 2014 to 2018. So of course we extend our sincere condolences to his wife Bernice and his family. He had quite a large family in the obituary and all those who worked with him. And as our practice is, a charitable donation will be made in his memory. So the information regarding visitation and service can be found on the Davy Linklater Funeral Home website. Visitation Friday 6 to 9 and the funeral service 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. So we remember this evening Gordon Campbell. Okay, our roll call this evening. Deputy Mayor Hinchberger.
Present.
Councillor Blackwell.
Present.
Councillor Kavanagh.
Present.
Councillor Prenger.
Present.
Councillor Steinhoff-Gray.
Present.
Councillor Stewart.
Present.
Councillor Williams.
Present.
And we acknowledge our staff present and 3 excited community members who are participating as well. We also acknowledge this evening that we're meeting on the traditional lands and treaty territory of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, including the Chippewas of Nawash Unceded First Nation and the Chippewas of Saugeen First Nation. We recognize and appreciate the contribution that Indigenous peoples have made in caring for this land and shaping and strengthening community. And we are dedicated to learn and acknowledge Indigenous history and culture, and we are committed to actions that move us towards a journey of truth, healing, and reconciliation with the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, the Métis Nation of Ontario, and the historic Saugeen Métis. I'd like to remind any councillors to declare pecuniary interest now or as it arises during the meeting. Okay, this meeting is addressed in our procedural bylaw. It's called the Special Council Appointment Meeting. The office of Councillor at Large for the Municipality of Kincardine was declared vacant in accordance with a few sections of the Municipal Act on April 22nd this past year. The process for filling this vacancy, including the voting procedure and the process from hearing from the applicants, is outlined in the appoint an eligible elector to fill a vacancy procedure approved by Council on September 11, 2024. This is a special meeting of Council and obviously follows the procedural bylaw for decorum in the Council chambers. So at this point, I would ask the clerk to read out the names of all the individuals certified to be eligible for nomination alphabetically by surname.
The candidates are Blake Carroll, McKeeman William J., and Monroe Jason.
Okay, so we need a mover and seconder that the following individuals constitute the official slate of candidates eligible for nomination for the vacant office of Councillor at Large for the Municipality of Kincardine. And they are, as announced by the clerk, Carol Blake, William J. McKeeman, and Jason Monroe. Moved by Deputy Mayor Hinchberger and seconded by Councillor Prenger. All in favor? And that's carried. So each one of the candidates shall be afforded the opportunity to address council for a period of not more than 10 minutes. And the timer will be on the screen here so that there is indication. They will be able to see when their time is nearing end. The order of speaking shall be determined by lot. The clerk will draw names from her special container again this evening. The magic box. The first person drawn will remain in the council chambers, and the other two candidates shall be sequestered in a separate area until it's their turn to speak. Once every candidate has had an opportunity to speak, the candidates will return to the council chambers. This process allows each candidate to have a fair advantage to speak and answer questions. Once a candidate has finished speaking or has chosen not to speak, because that is their option, each council member here may ask a maximum of 2 questions per candidate to confirm or to clarify their interest or their experience or whatever. But it is not mandatory that any councillor ask any questions at all, of course. During the presentation of the candidate or regarding the answering question, council members cannot interrupt, and there actually will be no debate during the question. You ask the question and it's just the answer. So no scoring system is going to be used in considering the answers to any questions, and please note that this process takes some time and should not be rushed. Okay. We are at the point now where I will ask the clerk to draw the names from the special container and identify the order of the speaking tonight. So she will call out the name and just so the candidates know who's first, second, or third.
Okay, putting in Carol Blake, putting in William J. McKeeman, and putting in Jason Monroe. So the first person will be Jason Monroe. Second will be Carol Blake. And the third will be William J. McKeeman.
Okay, so I'd ask that Mr. Monroe stay in the chamber and Mr. McKeeman and Ms. Blake be escorted out with Jenna. And when Jason's done, then we will have opportunity. Okay, Jason, yeah, please take a chair. The center of the staff table there would be excellent. And there's a little button there with a person shouting in the middle. The red light comes on. Jason, you have 10 minutes to make your presentation. No, it's it's an open meeting, so yeah.
They're far,
So,
far away.
Jason, thank you for applying for the council vacancy this evening. We're glad you're here and look forward to your presentation.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Craig and councillors of the municipality of Kincardine. My name is Jason Monroe, and I'm proud to call the municipality of Kincardine home. I'm here today because I care deeply about this community and want to play a meaningful role in helping guide its future. I'm asking for your support for the councillor at large position. My background is rooted in service, leadership, and real-world experience. I come from a strong emergency response background, having worked as an industrial firefighter, served as a captain on that team for 8 years. In that role, I was responsible for leading teams in high-pressure situations where decisions had immediate consequences. That experience taught me discipline, accountability, and most importantly, how to step back and look at the big picture before taking any action. One of the most important lessons emergency response has taught me is the value of teamwork and diversity. The strongest teams are not made up of people who all think the same. They're made up of individuals who bring different skills, perspectives, and experiences to the table. That diversity prepares a team to face complex challenges and find the best solutions. We all bring something different to the table, and that's what makes a great team. I strongly believe that the same principle applies to business and also the municipal government. Professionally, I've been involved with entrepreneurship since my youth, and a lot of different examples. My experiences starting and operating both small and medium to large businesses has given me a deep understanding of financial responsibility, economic development, and the realities that local businesses face every day. Earlier in my career, I managed a restaurant and worked in the hospitality industry for some years. This actually included managing a nightclub as well. Those roles taught me how to connect with people, lead teams, and create environments that are safe, welcoming, and successful. I've worked extensively in industrial settings with hands-on experience across several types of construction, as well as supervising operations in a mining environment involving airport management, road maintenance, transportation of people around the site, and heavy equipment. This diverse background has given me a strong practical understanding of how infrastructure is built and maintained and managed. I understand what it takes to deliver projects safely, efficiently, and responsibly while keeping the costs in check. Working at Bruce Power has reinforced for me the importance of having a strong, reliable infrastructure in place, not just to support today's operations, but like we all know, enable future growth, development, and long-term success. I do have a rural background, and I think that has shaped who I am. It's where I learned the value of hard work, resilience, and the sense of community. I understand the importance of balancing growth with preserving the character and needs of rural areas. I'm also passionate about the environment. I believe that as a municipality, we have the responsibility to make decisions that are not only good for today, but sustainable for future generations. Responsible growth and environmental stewardship must go hand in hand. What do I bring forward is a combination of emergency response and leadership, decision-making under pressure, business and entrepreneurial experience, hands-on knowledge of construction, infrastructure, and operations, strong understanding of industrial environments, including Bruce Power, a people-first approach shaped by hospitality and service industries, a commitment to teamwork, diversity, and collaboration, a deep appreciation for rural communities and the environment. I'm committed to listening, working collaboratively, and making thoughtful and balanced decisions that reflect the needs of all residents. The municipality of Kincardine is a strong community with a bright future, and I want to be a part of ensuring that we continue to grow in a way that is responsible, inclusive, and sustainable. I want to thank you for your time, and I would be honored to have your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Speaking of support.
Are there any questions from any councillors that you would like to offer at this time? Councillor Blackwell, please.
Thank you. Thank you for coming today. Through the chair, I'd like to ask just this question, and forgive me if it's not worded fantastically, but anyways. We've discussed many topics and issues during this term of council. I'm wondering if you could maybe speak just to one and think about a question or a perspective that you might be able to contribute that would help council's understanding of this issue or better inform our decision-making process. Perhaps an area that you see council would benefit from your experience.
I am aware of some of the challenges faced by the municipality, housing being one, and looking at the growth of Bruce Power and the talk of Bruce C, the infrastructures, emergency response is another thing I think is another issue. And as far as sorry, what was the second part of the question? Sorry.
I'm just wondering about maybe what you think your specific perspective would help how it would enhance what council's already doing, like our perspective in decision making.
I'm not too sure of everybody's backgrounds, but coming from a business-minded perspective, I guess on my end, looking at what our capabilities are, first of all, what the challenges are, but coming up with a plan to address that challenge, and working as a team to kind of come to a solution. It's got to be something that's going to be beneficial. I understand we're not always going to make everybody happy, and that's just kind of the realities of business and of life sometimes, especially if you have children. But yeah.
Councillor Williams, please.
Thank you, through you, and thank you for coming. This position is being filled fairly late in the term. What would you see as some of the challenges coming in, and how would you help to kind of address those as a new individual coming into a council that's, again, coming near end of term?
As you stated, there's going to be a lot to learn, and that's going to be one of the main challenges. I don't have a strong background in politics or municipality governance, but I am definitely willing to learn and take in as much as I can, with hopefully some patience on my end and how I'm learning. But I'm definitely willing to, I want to succeed, but I can see that being a challenge, is trying to get up to speed with everybody else. So.
Deputy Mayor Hinchberger, please.
Thank you, to your chair. I'll ask the same question to all three candidates. So one of the roles of a councillor is to represent the public. In the municipality of Kincardine, we have a ward system where some of our colleagues are actually elected by certain wards. And while there is an expectation or responsibility that all members of council make decisions that are in the best interest of the public, the councillor at large position, at least from my perspective, is one that takes an all-encompassing at large approach to everything. You mentioned that no matter what decision you make, you cannot make everybody happy. I think what I would tell most people that ultimately come to this role is that you don't really have any idea of the pressure that you will be put under by competing interests on an issue. So I'd just be curious, like, in your own words, is how do you intend to apply your knowledge and skills to decision-making in a way that represent the best interest of the public? The phrase I often use with people, often you'll get some people will say, well, you work for me, you work for us. And I would say, I work for the public, and that's everybody and nobody. And so I'd be interested in your perspective on that.
Sorry, can you repeat that, the part of the question there? Sorry.
It's like you touched on, you can't ever make everybody happy. And so it's really, I'm trying to gauge, these probably aren't the best words, strength of character in the face of fire, adversity, in order to stick to the principle of we're here to make decisions that we consider to be in the best interest of the public.
So it kind of ties in, I guess, from my experience as business management. So a lot of times you have people that might not work out in certain positions, a lot smaller scale, mind you, than a whole municipality, but there's difficult conversations that need to happen. And it's been my experience, I've kind of learned the tough way, but I've also had some good coaching through the years as well. When you have, if you don't deal with the issue, it's going to compound and it's going to grow stronger, right? So, and when you're dealing with an individual, maybe there's a certain issue that, a reoccurring issue that may be happening, like coming in late or whatever, but if you don't address that, it's just going to keep happening or get worse, or it could spread to other employees as well, right? And it's actually shows on the type of leadership as well. So yeah, no, you have to address the issues, and it's just making an informed decision and with the support of your team members, right? So yeah.
Councillor Stewart, please.
I'll get this straight sooner or later. Thank you for coming. And I used to have a full head of hair 8 years ago, and this is what happens when you're a counselor 8 years later. But, it is, as Mike says, every time we make about 51% of the people out there think we're okay, 49 probably think we're the other way. You get invited to a lot less cocktail parties, so you have to have thick skin. We try to vote for the best for the community at whole. They don't always agree with us. My question is really on a personal. What makes, Jason, tell me what you're passionate about outside of maybe becoming a counselor. I mean, what gets you up in the morning?
Well, family. I'm sure that drives a lot of us, but for me, it's my kids, my family, supporting them. I want to show my daughters that, what you can accomplish when you put your mind to it. The work I do every day, business related, I just want them to benefit the most out of this world and what it has to offer, right? So I want to show them by what I can do or what you can do if you put your mind to it. And how did you break your finger? Well, that was rolling logs around the backyard, and one log didn't roll the way it should have, but yeah, thank you.
Okay. Jason, thank you so much for coming. We will alert our sequester, and you can swap spots with Ms. Blake, who will be making her presentation at this point. So if you want to go with Tracy.
Sure. Thank you all for your time.
Yeah, right on.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah. Let me shut this off, or?
You're welcome to stay. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, either one of those would be fine. Carol? So thank you so much for coming this evening. We are glad that you have submitted your application, and we're here to listen and query perhaps some of your comments. As we commented, there's 10 minutes on the clock up here. It's somewhere. Will be. And welcome, and we wait for your presentation here. There's a little talking man in the middle. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Praise God. The opportunity for me to come in front of this council again is really exciting. Mayor Craig, Deputy Mayor Hinchberger, councillors, municipal staff, and chamber guests. It is said that when God opens a door, one must explore what adventure is on the other side. I'm standing on the threshold of that door right now. I was a candidate for Ward 2 in election 2022. When I knocked on the doors, I handed out the candidate card, this one right here, this candidate card, to introduce myself. I am Carol Blake. Mike and I moved to Kincardine Township in 1992 with two young boys, Caleb and Jedediah. We created Blake Farms east of Armagh as a cow-calf operation, and now with two young men, it is a heavy equipment repair and a cash crop farm. I have wrote and sent many cover letters, resumes, sponsorship requests, and now an EOI to prospective employers over the years, and I always feel while reviewing my projects, it's like I'm boasting and I'm full of myself for all I have accomplished. But in actuality, it is the skills, spiritual gifts, or talents I am blessed with that expose my weaknesses. My power is made perfect in weakness, 2 Corinthians 12:9. And learn to be wise, he said, and develop good judgment and common sense, Proverbs 6:5. It is my Christ awareness, not my self-awareness, that allows me to learn from my failures. I am humbly here to offer my weaknesses yet to be developed in a council experience and bring my lifetime skills of services to be a responsible representative for the municipality, committed to read, investigate, research policy, hold myself accountable, trustworthy in a stewardship role to constituents. However you are directed to select a candidate for this vacancy, I appreciate being able to participate in this process. You will find me in the cowboy hat, working in the Tiverton Municipal Gardens, enjoying God's beauty if I'm not selected. I will leave my candidate card for those who do not have one already. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Council members, any questions for Ms. Blake this evening? Councillor Blackwell.
Thank you. I'm just going to be asking a variant of the same question. I'm trying to improve the wording as I go. But anyways, so through the chair, thank you very much for coming. We've talked a lot of different topics and issues during this term of council, and I'm just wondering if you could think of a question or perspective that you feel you might have been able to contribute to any of those topics that could have enhanced or improved our understanding and decision-making process.
Because I'm of Ward 2, a lot of our concerns are of the country and our services. So I think I could contribute there. As my EOI suggests, I spend a lot of time working on the fiber issue for our farms because we are all not small farmers anymore and we need fiber. So.
Councillor Stewart, please.
Thank you, and through you, Chair, you're absolutely right. We came so close, Carol, of getting that Starlink, and it just didn't happen, but we came close, and I understand. First time I met Carol, I was at the Tiverton Fall Fair, and Carol was in a regatta, on her horse, and there was a goat behind her. And for this day on, I know the goat passed away and maybe the horse passed away, but I thought it was the funniest thing to have a goat. They were just friends, and they stayed together and everything else. I basically are going to ask the same question because, being a counselor some days is a little rougher than others, and you got to go home to the family and everything. But just like to know, what are you passionate in when you get up in the morning? I mean, what makes Carol Carol?
Family first, always. I do immerse myself in my projects. If I start one, it won't be done till it's done. And so I plan my day according. Now that I'm retired, I have way more time to make those plans. And so I am a volunteer with the the Municipal Gardens in Tiverton. So that is where a lot of our planning right now is. But I'm open to a new opportunity, and I've always wanted to know how the municipal works. And I know I'm very naive. I will probably get my eyes open, but I'd love to experience it.
Councillor Hinchberger, please.
Thank you, through your chair. One of the roles of a member of council or a councillor is to represent the public. The phrase I often use when I try to tell people this is that you'll often get people that will say, you work for the public, you work for me. And I say, when you work for the public, that means everybody in general and nobody in particular. We have a ward system here, and while a number of the colleagues are actually elected by members of a specific ward, the position that's vacant right now, mine, is an at-large position that I generally think requires a unique perspective that spans across any one ward and looks at the municipality as a whole. You mentioned that I think there's maybe Councillor Stewart was aware of this, having been on term before, but I would think that my colleagues around here would say that one of the things that will be a surprise to you is that even though most people on the surface can say that no decision will make everybody happy, I don't think that most people who run for office have an idea when it comes down to crunch time, just exactly how much pointed pressure you will come under from certain viewpoints in order to make a decision. And I guess the question I have is, how would you apply your knowledge and skills and experience in order to buttress or against those forces? I didn't ask this of the previous, or mention this in the previous candidate. One of the flaws, I mentioned this to you when we spoke once, there is no polling in the municipality that occurs between elections. This is a weakness, and as a result, on any one issue, you might find it very difficult to gauge the pulse of the community. So how would you use your knowledge and skills and experience to weather the storm, all in the pursuit of making a decision that is in the best interest of the public?
Thank you for that question. I think the town hall meetings are awesome. I understand Ward 1 held one. Is that right? Yep. And how did that go? Did you get good feedback? Yeah. So I thought that was a great idea. And in Ward 2, we've got the hall. And I thought that would be a great place to get people together to talk about what's going on. Because, yes, people are very brave on social media. They're not so brave when they stand in front of you and talk to you. Because I had an incident in Tiverton, and I did list it in my EOI, and we used the STAR method to solve it. I'm not sure if I'm going off topic here, but...
Stop, Think, Act, Review? Or a different STAR?
Sorry, STAR? What did...
Stop, Think, Act, Review.
No. Situation, task, action, and result. And ours, we spent so much time on the banner project in Tiverton, and we got it all up, and it looked beautiful, and then you guys received all the calls of how terrible it was. And so we had to go into a reaction mode there and repair the problem. So it's not that I'm not used to problems. The military brought many problems. But you're right, each one is individual.
Councillor Williams, please.
Sure. It's a slight variation from my earlier question to the earlier candidate, but coming so late in the term, there's not a lot of time left of this council. And I guess, is there anything in particular, anything that you would hope to achieve should you be selected?
The process of how council works. And I think in 6 months, it'll give me a great eye-opener as to what you guys do, and appreciate you. I know, isn't that the hardest part? People do not give accolades. They always give, what is the matter with everything, you know? Yes. Did that help? Did that answer?
Okay. Carol, thank you very much for your presentation and your answers. Council is appreciative of the skills that you bring. Now, if you go with Tracy, she'll take you back out to your sequestered group out there, and Tracy will return with Mr. McKeeman, please. Thanks again, Carol.
Can I just leave these on the corner?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. No, go ahead, Bill. You got lots of time. Hi, good evening and welcome, Bill. We're glad that you're here, that you submitted an application for this position. The clerk, deputy clerk will put the timer up in the corner there, just in the corner of the TV, just for your awareness, and we look forward to your presentation. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I have a big presentation, but I don't know if everybody had a chance to read my expression of interest, but I thought I'd cover it again just in case, and maybe add a couple little things to that and then go from there. Does that sound okay? Okay, let this letter serve as formal expression of my interest in the vacant councillor at large seat in the municipality of Kincardine. As a resident and former candidate in the last municipal race, I am interested in serving the members of the community I live in. I'm retired now, but during my working career, I held several management executive roles for small and large corporations. Those roles included income statement accountability, sales management, cost management, budget management, merger and acquisition activity, and staff management for business units as large as $100 million annually in sales. Key priorities for me in a role on council would be representing the people of the municipality of Kincardine, making sure their voices are heard at council, and responsible economic growth and development within the municipality of Kincardine. And I think there's opportunities there. I intend to serve the people of the municipality of Kincardine with integrity, equity, fairness, and distinction. Sincerely submitted, William J. McKeeman. From there, I thought I would just add a couple things that might be of interest in my background that might be relevant, although I have to admit I don't really know if I understand fully the job description or the role of a councillor, but I have some ideas about it. But I'm sure, well, Bill keeps warning me that I don't know anything about it, but anyway. Okay, so as I said, serve the people of the community, promote responsible economic growth. I think I was known in my working career for looking at income statements and finding opportunities and then providing tools to help deliver results on the income statement, both on the cost side and on the sales side and profitability side. And I had a long history of doing that. On that, the sales and profitability side was much more interesting to me because it allowed an opportunity to work with people and really develop them. Things like sales training, leadership development, and people development was very important there.
One of the things that I was proud of in my career was a number of times, about 3 times, I was responsible for something called, accountable for something called an EVI score, Employee Value Index. So the employees of the company would rate you, and they would rate you against trust in company leadership, trust in company direction, tools to get the job done, and communication. And the first time that happened to me, our division had a 66, which wasn't a very good score, but the overall company had a 55. But within a year, we got to 84, and the last role I had the highest score in the company, which was a 92. So I think I like to work with people. I like to find a way to work with people positively. So at this point, I just thought if there's anything that you guys want to talk to me about, and maybe we could have a bit of a dialogue, you could ask me some questions.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. Do any council members have any questions for our applicant? Councillor Blackwell.
Thank you, through the chair. Thank you so much for coming. There's a bit of a theme. We're all asking everybody the same questions, so hopefully it's consistent. One of the things I'll say is, as a council, we've dealt with many different topics and issues during our term. And I'm not looking for like a specific one, but I'm wondering if you could think about kind of a question or a perspective that you feel you uniquely might be able to contribute that could enhance this council's understanding and help our decision-making process.
Okay, so is that something you're working on right now, working to improve?
Well, I think we all have different perspectives that we bring, and I think that can help our decision making. And I'm just looking for you to share maybe a little bit about what some of the perspectives and experiences that you might be able to help us out with, round us out as a council.
Well, at the risk of overstating what those challenges might be, I had the benefit of a leadership coach for a number of years, and then I learned a model about how people work together. And the model was basically people operate out of 4 different quadrants. One is get it done, one is get it right, one's get attention, one's get along. And you could take a test and score in those quadrants. And then that would give you a very good understanding of where people were coming from. And typically when people are under stress, they'll overplay their strengths in that quadrant and come across very negatively to other people. So I'm very aware of how that process works and how to mitigate it. I had to manage a team of, hope this doesn't sound right. I had 2 women that reported to me. I have 4 people with direct reports at this time. 2 of them were women who hated each other. And we had to find a way to work together, and we did. So instead of them coming in and not talking to each other anymore, we found a way to get to work together, and they talk to each other. So I'm hoping that's a good example.
Deputy Mayor Hinchberger, please.
Thank you, through your chair. One of the roles of a councillor, if you look in the municipal councillor's guide, is to represent the public. It looks so easy, you know what I mean? And it just represent the public. And you know, one of the words you used before was touch on making sure that people's voices are heard. But rarely do those voices ever speak in unison on anything.
That's true.
We have a ward system here. There are a few positions, 4 in total, which are actually elected by citizens of those wards. And while they're are elected by those wards, they are expected to act in the best interest of the entire municipality. But the councillor at large position is the one that, from my perspective, is really stated on that. I mentioned earlier that one of the issues you will find on council is in municipal politics, you have no polling between elections. So once you get a little far removed from the election, it becomes very difficult to gauge the pulse of the public, especially on specific issues. And one of the not uncommon things is when it comes down to decision time, that's when you'll get an exponential ramp up of pressure from certain groups about your decision. And you can lose your way about what the public is feeling. So what I'm looking for is, like, in the face of all of this, in your own words, like, how can you draw on your knowledge, skills, and experience to weather that storm and still stay true to the notion that we're here to make decisions that are in the best interest of the public, meaning everyone in general and no one in particular?
Well, I think Amanda and I had a little discussion before the meeting started today about something like that. So I think there's always a way to try and get a feel for what the majority of people might feel about a certain situation. I think that's true. I play hockey 4 or 5 times a week with 2 groups in Kincardine. I know quite a few people from there. So that's one way for me to sort of like get some feedback on what's happening. I'm sure they won't be shy about talking to me about things either. So that'll give me some ground to stand on to try and understand which way the wind's blowing. And from there, obviously, you're not going to please everybody when you may finally make a decision. But I think the example that Amanda and I actually spoke about today about the volleyball court in Inverhuron, we found kind of a solution that we thought was important to relay to people about why the council would choose a certain decision in that way. And I think if you can hang on to that and find one good reason that, like you said, Mike, addresses the needs of the municipality, the total municipality, and the people at large, and use that as your shield, I think that's a good way to go.
Councillor Stewart, please.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Welcome. And being from Inverhuron, don't worry, you'll get lots of feedback, one way or the other. And you have to sort of understand that, and as Mike, the Deputy Mayor, is talking about, sometimes you have to have pretty broad shoulders and find out what's going on and everything. And after having some of our meetings can last a little bit till 8, 9, sometimes 10 o'clock, and it's hard sometimes you go home. My question is more like on your personal side, because, some days you sort of go, what the heck am I doing here? But, what is your passion? Like, what sort of gets you up in the morning? What sort of makes Bill Bill?
I like meeting people, and I like listening to people's stories and who they are, where they've been, how they've been. Since I moved here permanently in May of 2020, just through the hockey thing, I met like 500 people, and they're all important to me. All those people that I know through hockey are important to me. They all have a story. They're all my friends. I look forward to hockey. I look forward to seeing them. I look forward to being with those people. I don't want to give it up. Like I'll keep playing until I can't, And so I think that's the most important thing. So I also look for, the people in Inverhuron that I know. Inverhuron is I just think this whole area is a very special place. I find it as a very special place. So the relationships that you form here and talking to people here, I find it rewarding and in some ways easier than in the city.
Councillor Williams, please.
Thank you, through you. This position is being filled fairly late in council's term. Is there anything in particular that you're hoping to accomplish over the short term should you be selected as the preferred candidate?
Okay. Yes, I'd like to find out what it's like to be a counselor to see if I'd like to do it again. So that's honestly, that's one of the primary reasons, other than what I stated in my letter, just to serve the people of the community I live in. My grandfather was Division Court Clerk and Justice of the Peace here in Kincardine for many years and was on the school board and things like that. So he's a bit of an inspiration for me as well as serving his community. When I was a boy, the OPP used to come, I'd spend summers up here with him. The OPP would come to his door all the time, and they would knock on his door, and I'd hear the police talking to my grandfather. And 9 times out of 10, they'd go, well, you got to go serve a warrant on this guy. My grandfather would say, oh, I know that guy. Let me go talk to him first. I'll get back to you. So, and then sometimes I'd go with him. So anyway.
Okay, Bill, thanks so much for your presentation and those honest answers to the questions. We do appreciate that. So at this point, you are welcome to remain here, and to just ask you to take a seat back in the gallery there again, and we'll ask the other 2 candidates to come back and we'll proceed with the process here.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to address council.
Turn off your mic, please.
Oh, yes.
Okay, first off, I'd like to express my appreciation to the three candidates, the three applicants for this position of Councillor at Large. Welcome to council when you have three right answers, but you gotta pick one of three right answers. So it's not that, it's never easy. You just gotta make a decision and you carry on. So there is a process. I would call for nominations subject to the following criteria. Only a member of council may nominate an individual candidate from the slate of candidates. Each member of council may nominate one or more candidates. Nominations must be done by formal resolution with a mover and a seconder. No debate about it. It's just either a yes or no answer to the resolution. And once again, if the candidates had so chosen, they did not need to be present to be nominated. Okay, so at this point, I will ask for movers and seconders to nominate a candidate for the position to fill the vacant Councillor at Large seat. Councillor Prenger, please.
Thank you, through you, Chair. I'd like to nominate Mrs. Carol Blake, please.
Is there a seconder for that nomination? Councillor Steinhoff Gray. Okay. All in favor of that resolution? Just add them. We're just adding to the slate of nominations. All in favor? And that was carried. Okay. Are there any other resolutions? Councillor Kavanagh, please.
Thank you. Through the chair, I'd like to propose a motion that Jason Monroe be added to the slate of candidates.
Is there a seconder for that motion? Councillor Blackwell. All in favor of inclusion of that name on the slate of candidates? And that is carried.
Well, we have to vote.
You got Councillor Stewart.
Here we go. I'd like to nominate William or Bill as a candidate. All three of them are tough, so I'd like to just really have.
Is there a seconder for that? Councillor Williams, please. All in favor of that nomination? And that was carried as well. Okay. So it says here in the procedure, I'm supposed to make sure that I ask 3 more times if there's any further nominations, but I'm not going to because everyone is nominated for a position. Okay, so I actually do need a mover and seconder that the nominations for Councillor at Large for the municipality of Kincardine be now closed. Moved by Councillor Stewart and Deputy Mayor Hinchberger. All in favor? Okay. This one here. So we just made a resolution that they be nominated for this slate, and we've closed those nominations, and now I need a mover and seconder that the following individuals constitute the official slate of nominees for the vacant officer of Councillor at Large for the municipality of Kincardine, and they include Carol Blake, William J. McKeeman, and Jason Monroe. I need a mover and seconder that they are the official slate. Councillor Williams and Prenger, all in favor of that motion, and that is carried. Okay, so I will continue with the voting procedure the council will use to determine the candidate to be appointed. As per the procedure bylaw, all voting will be completed in open session, and there's no vote that shall be taken by ballot or any other method rather than holding your hand up when you're asked, okay? I would please ask councillors be loud and proud with your hand when it goes up. It can't be it can't be that. Just hold it up, and please hold it there until the clerk and deputy clerk affirm that they have the numbers established. So the rounds of voting will be conducted as follows. The clerk will draw the name of one of the nominees to be voted on by council from her special nomination box. Council will vote on each nominee drawn by the clerk at the same time by way of public show of hands. You have in your mind who you want to vote. You don't get to vote for more than one person when they pull their name out of the box. You know, there's 3 names in there. You have to pick a name. You have to put your hand up and be counted. Each member of council may vote for one nominee only in each, because there'll be rounds. They've been created by the clerk and placed in the box, there we go.
I'm sorry, Mary, could you repeat the last line? I couldn't hear you. Or maybe the
That
last 2 lines?
last line was just mumble.
No,
because I was-
the one before that. I
Oh, the
actually
one
couldn't
before
hear.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so the clerk is going to draw the names out of the special nomination box. She's going to say the name of the candidate, and council members will vote on the name. There might be, for a candidate to win on the first ballot, they have to get 5 votes. If Mary Jean Smith's name was pulled out of the box and she would happen to get 3 votes, that's what she gets. If next person gets 2 votes, that's what they get. If the next person gets 3 votes, that means the 2 people who got 3 votes continue on to the next round. The person with 2 votes is eliminated from the election. Then we go to another round. And it could come down to the fact that it could be a 4-4 vote, at which point the clerk will put both names in the special box of election, and they will pull out a name, and the person whose name I believe is left in the box is the one who wins.
It's a weird one, but it is the one.
Yes, it is. That's our procedural bylaw. That's the way it works.
It's complicated.
Hopefully it doesn't come down to that.
I hope it doesn't come down to that either. Okay. So the clerk has 3 names in the box. She is going to read the names as they go in the box. Please establish in your mind who you're going to vote for the first round. When she says the name, you put your hand up.
Okay, so Jason Monroe is going in. Carol Blake is going in. And William J. McKeeman is going in. Okay.
So the first candidate to be drawn is William J. McKeeman. All in favor of Mr. McKeeman, please raise your hand. 2 votes. The next name is Carol Blake. All in favor of supporting Carol Blake, please raise your hand.
2.
And the third name is Jason Monroe. All in favor of supporting Jason Monroe, please hold up your hand. 4 votes. So there's not enough names to declare a winner because no one has got 5 votes yet. So clerk, you're going to have to tell me what happens when there's 2 names on the bottom of the list.
So what's going to happen is I am going to put back in William J. McKeeman's, and I'm going to put back in Carol Blake's. And the name that I pull out will be eliminated. Okay? So the name that I pull out is going to be eliminated, and we will vote again. Maybe? Maybe, if I can get it. So William J. McKeeman is no longer in the race. Okay?
Sorry about
So
that.
I'm going to put these 2 back.
This is one
So-
of the jobs as a counselor you don't like.
You don't like?
All right, so I'm putting Jason Monroe and Carol Blake back in.
So the clerk will withdraw names out, and we will vote on the candidate for Councillor. If one of them gets 5 votes, they win. If it's a tie 4-4, then the names go back in the box again. And Jennifer becomes she gets the decision maker. So the first name drawn is Jason Monroe. All in favor of nominating Jason Monroe as the candidate, please hold up your hand.
That's 6.
That would be, hold your hand up again. I believe it was only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
The successful candidate for the appointment of Councillor at Large is Jason Monroe. Okay, so before we have a party, we need a mover and seconder that the appoint Jason Monroe to fill the vacancy in the office of Councillor at Large by law be deemed to be read a first, second, third time, finally passed and numbered as bylaw 2026-066. Moved by Councillors Kavanagh and Williams. All in favor of that? And that is carried. So at this point, I'm going to ask the clerk to read and sign, to guide you through the reading and signing of the declaration of office for Mr. Monroe.
All right. So I'm going to get you to read that. Oh, put your glasses on.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to get you to sign where it says that.
Thank you. I, Jason Monroe, have been appointed to the office of Councillor at Large in the corporation of the municipality of Kincardine, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make the solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
So congratulations, Jason and family. And honestly, thank you to Carol and Bill for applying for your presentation. And I do not appreciate that you made the job hard tonight, but that is part of the nature of it. So from my perspective, we didn't have a winner and losers. We had 3 really successful candidates that represent our municipality so well. So thank you so very much for that. So I do need a mover and seconder that the bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Kincardine of June 3rd, 2026 be deemed to be read a first, second, third time, finally passed, numbered as bylaw 2026-067. Moved by Deputy Mayor Hinchberger and Councillor Stewart. All in favor? That's carried. And move that we adjourn at 5:59 by Councillor Prenger and Williams. All in favor? Carried.